Hello, my name's Rob Rastelli. I'm the head of sixth form at Ulster Victoria High School. I'm here to talk all about our sixth form, what we have to offer at Ulverston, and also talk a bit about the process for application for September 2021. The current picture you can see on the screen is of our current senior head boy girl team, elected exclusively by the rest of the students in current year 13. Very pleasant to see that out of this team, half of this team were elected who were students who used to come to Ulster Victoria High School all the way through, and the other half are brand new students to the sixth form who've come from other local schools. So I think it demonstrates quite well how easy it is to meet new people, make new friends. So it's obviously very important for students to get the right information and advice, particularly in this year, a very challenging year, whereby they will receive information from various external providers like myself. So it could be information about sixth forms, offer A-levels like we do, might be other FE colleges, could be about apprenticeships, different jobs, etc. And it's very important that students listen to everything very carefully and then decide what is the right path for them. So what kind of institution do they want to go to? Is it an academic sort of institution, I say like ourselves, which pretty much exclusively offer A-levels? Students tend to go on to do university or go on to get higher or degree apprenticeships, or is it other kind of institutions that students want to go to? One thing that is the same for all students, of course, is the quality of the results achieved at GCSE. So it's vitally important that they maximise the grades they can get, which means that their options will remain open as to what institution they actually want to attend. In terms of our sixth form, to give you an idea of who we have here, 150 students roughly joined this year in 2020, add on to the current year 13 students, and we are talking very close to 300 students in total in our sixth form. We do welcome students locally and internationally. It's fair to say that around about 50%, slightly over in fact, of our students are brand new to UVHS, so they've come from the other local schools. Some have moved actually into the area, perhaps parents have got new jobs. And we also welcome students from Europe as well, who come for maybe a term or even a whole year, from countries such as Italy, Spain, Germany. We've had students even come further afield from Australia, from America, and it's great for them. It's great for our students to mix in with those students too. And of course, the thing about coming to a sixth form like ourselves is that you have the choice. Currently, students will do 9, 10, 11 different subjects perhaps at GCSE. Obviously at A-level you will hone in on the subjects you want to study, which for most students is 3 but can be 4. So a question to ask would be, why might you want to choose to come to UVHS sixth form? We've certainly got plenty of sixth form areas on the site, exclusively just for the sixth form population. We are a school with a sixth form, but it is important therefore the students have their own independence, lots of different spaces, and there's some photographs of those later on in the presentation. Atmosphere we'd like to think is very welcoming for our students, the fact that our students mix very, very easily from coming from different schools. Transport wise, there's potentially school buses, public service buses, and then the train station also is about 200 metres down the road from us, so that's convenient. Facilities wise, because we're part of the main school as well, we can obviously use all the equipment and facilities such as laboratories, product design areas, computer rooms, etc. We are a good size. The fact we have 300 students allows us to offer 22 different subjects. And I'd like to think that when you look at our results over the last few years, we are achieving very good results, the kind of results that students need to move on to the next step, be it university, higher apprenticeship, etc. So if you do join us, obviously it's important that you get plenty of support. As myself, as head of sixth form, I have a deputy director of sixth form as well, Mr. Sims, assistant head of sixth form, Mrs. Jefferson, who's also head of psychology. Then you've got form tutors. You'll be put in a form with about 20 other students. You've got your subject teachers who you'll see obviously 6 lessons per week per subject. We have our own careers advisor for post-16, Mr. Rijard, and we also have academic progress mentor, which basically helps students who might need a bit of extra helping hand, who's struggling perhaps in 1 or 2 of their subjects. And we also make sure that we encourage students to make sensible use of their free study periods. I did mention previously that we are traditionally consistently getting strong results at A-level. So over the last 4 years, over 50% of our grades achieved are A-star, A or B, which are the kind of grades that you need, say, to move on to the next level into higher education. Most of our students do tend to go on to university when they finish with us. This is a picture of year 13 from 2019. Unfortunately, we couldn't take a picture of the 2020 class due to the fact we're in lockdown at the time. But as I say, the vast majority go on to university with us. In terms of where these students actually go to, if you look at this graph, I beg pardon, this picture of the country, you'll see this is the actual destinations of our students over the last 3 years. And you can see, if you look at the numbers, the most popular destinations for our students have been the likes of Newcastle, Leeds, Lancaster, Liverpool, many of these sort of well-known northern-based universities, which are all Russell Group universities. Lancaster's not Russell Group, but it's still a top 10 university. But you can see students do go further afield, be up to Scotland, likes of Edinburgh or Glasgow, St Andrews. We have had students get into Oxford, Cambridge, etc., down to London, University College London, and so on. But you'll also notice on the right-hand side, over here, that we've got students who also get into the higher apprenticeship scheme. BAE in particular has been a very popular one for our students, also up the coast at Sellafield, and some other more sort of local apprenticeship schemes run, and then some national ones, the likes of Ernst & Young, PricewaterhouseCoopers and Deloitte. Some of those are actually degree apprenticeships, which is fantastic for the student because it means that they're getting the whole of their tuition fees paid for when they're away at university. You may well ask as to what students actually do for those who go to university. Well, again, looking at the last 3 years, this is for our own UVHS Year 13 students. You'll see which subjects have been the most popular. Law continues to be a very popular subject, and it's quite hard to get into, so I'm quite pleased with that number there. Plenty of other like maths, engineering, as you can see. Music, we have a very, very strong music department here. So it's not surprising numbers there are larger than perhaps your average sixth form. And also others like computer science is a really growing subject with us, and so on. Down the bottom on the right, you might notice that we do well with students who want to go on to do medicine or veterinary science too. So these are all successful students over the last 3 years. Now, if you do want to go to university, then something you can be doing now is actually going onto the ucas.com website, which is the base of the university information website. The kind of grades that you're looking for to get into the most competitive universities are A, B, B, A level. And this site also has lots of information about which subjects you might want to choose. In our own prospectus, which hopefully you can pick up one of those booklets, there is information at the back as to the kind of subjects you should be picking at A level that will help you go on to a particular degree course at university. So that's all there, and there's also information on our school website too. During the school year, there's obviously lots of help and information given to our students. So on the screen now, you can probably see the kind of things that students get information on, be it Taste Days, university, online short courses, which students can do now even. You don't have to wait until they're in the sixth form. Summer schools, information about local national apprenticeships. Internships, we're lucky enough to have some links with local companies, engineering companies around the area where you can do work experience, paid work experience in the summer. This is regularly updated. Now, there is the website there, but also now that we use Teams a lot, and make sure that students year 12 and 13, the information gets put on Teams on a regular basis, so the students don't miss out on the very latest information they can receive in our sixth form. If you are interested in particular applying to university, then we do get a lot of guest speakers for our students. So that's a list of the kind of universities that we tend to get involved. Presentations very much about the application process, but also about the cities, what they offer, prospects, etc. We do an annual trip to Lancashire University, which is a very good university to see. It's a campus university about an hour down the road from Ulverston. We also take our students to the Higher Education Convention, which is like basically 100 plus universities are there where you can pick up lots of information, speak to people. And we're getting talks about personal statements, which is what you have to fill in when you're applying to university, and also help with interviews, not necessarily just university interviews, but also interviews for apprenticeships and so on. and also making sure students understand what it means about going away to university or living away from home in terms of finance and budgeting presentations too. But it's not all about going to university. A greater number of our students now do well at A-level, but perhaps don't want to go away to university and are looking to get an apprenticeship, higher apprenticeship, or even a degree apprenticeship. So as I mentioned on the previous slide, they're some of the most well-known higher apprenticeship opportunities locally to us, but also there are apprenticeships nationally which you can get involved with as well. So whenever that comes up, I always make sure I stick it on Teams so that students are very aware of what is out there and what's on offer. The next few slides just show a few photographs of sixth form areas in our school site. So the sixth form resource area is one place which students can go to in their free study periods. And then we have the couple of computer rooms and the computer room coach house, which are exclusively just for sixth form students. So they got printed areas, etc. And nice size screens. You've also got the common room in the sixth form centre. This photograph doesn't really do it justice. It's very open plan. It's big. There's plenty of tables and chairs. There's some sofas. There's snap machines, etc., etc. Then you've also got the big long Cloister Corridor, whereby students can sit, as you can see, during the school day in their free periods if you just want to get away from the common room. Then you've got the library. The library is excellent size, again, for sixth form students to use during the school day in their free study periods. So in terms of the kind of extra support you can get from us at sixth form, for those of you aiming extremely high, we have an Oxbridge preparation program. Oxbridge Club runs every week. Medicine and veterinary medicine, we do really well, and law, in fact, in terms of students getting in. We run a Vic Medics Club, for example, for the medicine students. There's a law society, bar mock trial. We do very well in terms of students getting into university, as you can see. Computer science is something that we're particularly strong at. The number of students now picking A-level computer science has increased. We now put on 2 A-level groups because it's so popular and we do extremely well in that. More and more students now going to do a computer science related degree university as a result. Mathematics is our most popular A-level. We've got 5 A-level maths groups and a further maths group as well. Ofsted, it's been a couple of years now, as you can see, but basically the last time Ofsted came into us, they were very pleased with what they saw in our sixth form. For those of you interested in music, we're nationally and internationally renowned as a provider of top class music. There's basically loads of different bands. There's the jazz band, various quartets, clarinet choir, the big band, the wind band. They go on tours locally, nationally and internationally. They've even played on Classic FM. They've played on the BBC, on Blue Peter. So it is an amazing thing, music here. You don't have to do music A-level. If you play an instrument, you can get involved with the bands, and you can also take music lessons while you're with us as well. In terms of other extracurricular activities, there are plenty of things for sixth forms to get involved with. I've already mentioned a few of those during this presentation. Other ones there, the D.A.V. Gold Awards, very popular. You don't have to have done silver or bronze beforehand. You can go straight into the gold. Other things on there you can get involved with, like extended project, which I'll mention later. The English Society, there's also, you can get involved with the school newspaper, math challenges, chess club. There's loads of things that you can get involved with in our sixth form. And moving on, you've also got various sports. We're lucky enough to have a climbing wall in our gym. Other sports you get involved with there. So yeah, there's hopefully something for everybody. So it's one way of getting involved with the sixth form, giving something back. Obviously adds on to your CV, your applications for future as well. So one thing you might be tempted to do is the extended project, which is something you can run alongside doing A-levels. This is a 5,000 word essay equivalent where you can really get your teeth stuck into a topic of completely your own choice. So these are genuine topics that our students in the past have picked. Again, it's worth what we call UCAS university points, but universities and employers love it because it shows a lot more independent learning. So it's something it's not for the faint-hearted. It's something that you really need to get, be very good at sort of keeping things going. So say independent learning is crucial to this, but we do have timetable lessons in it with a teacher, Mr. Wallace. So he will make sure that you are continuing in the right pathway and get the extended project completed in time and hopefully to an excellent standard too. So in terms of the actual structure of the subjects that are on offer at sixth form, as I say, it is A-levels that we do. A year 12 year isn't worth anything. You'll do exams at the end of the year, but it's not worth anything. All the exams take place in year 13, but there are subjects that do have NEA coursework. So there's some examples of those. Okay, so this particular slide is obviously an important one because this shows all the subjects on offer in our sixth form, I think 22 of them. It's important that you think very carefully about your subject choices. You'll be doing them for 2 years. So definitely go along the lines of, what subjects are you keen and interested in? Which ones you're going to enjoy? You're more likely to do better in those. You might have one eye on the future. So for example, if you want to do medicine, then clearly some subjects such as chemistry have to be one of your 3 choices. But ultimately, you're looking to try and get the best possible outcomes for these subjects. So, and do your research as well. Some of these subjects you've done at GCSE, although it doesn't mean to say that the subject will be just the same at sixth form. It might be quite different. Equally, there are brand new subjects there, the likes of psychology and sociology. So it's well worth finding out all about those courses. You're going to go down more the sort of performing arts route, in which case you can do maybe A-level drama and A-level dance. Either you pick a subject, like history. History in our sixth form could be very, very different to a history in a different sixth form because we follow completely different syllabuses. So again, what's in the syllabus? What's studied there? So do research would be my best advice. So in terms of the timeline for applications, what we would expect is students to try and apply online on the website, and ideally we're looking at to hand the application roughly then, sort of mid-end of January. But to be honest, we do get applications after that. And then we'll interview in March and April time, and then hopefully we'll look to do a taster day at the end of June, beginning of July. We can actually try out the sixth form, try out different subjects on that day, meet with the prospective students. GCSE results will come out in August. That might change your mind, which is why we'll interview again in September to finalise your choices, because you might change your subject choices completely or change 1 or 2. And then we'll start in September. As I say, we get students applying even after deadline. The bottom line is that if your grades are good enough and meet our expectations, then we can pretty much guarantee you a place starting with us in September. So a key question would be, if you do apply, will you get in? Well, there is benchmarks to meet. So the first one is making sure you get yourself at least a grade 4 in English and in maths. But then obviously we need more than that in terms of subjects you want to do. So if you pick, for example, I don't know, French at A-level, ideally we're looking to try and get a grade 6 or above in French. You want to do maths at A-level, ideally we're looking to get a grade 6 or above, because obviously you need to show that you've got ability in the subjects you want to study for the next 2 years. Because A-levels, the A stands for advanced, they are significantly more challenging than the GCSE levels that you're doing, albeit that I understand they're tough too. If you're not entirely sure, then I would suggest speaking to your current teachers for their advice, and hopefully they'll be straight and honest with you as to what they think. So, unfortunately, as you're probably aware, we currently can't offer an actual in-person sixth form open evening. So alternatives are as follows. You could book an individual tour. You can come along with your parents, for example, after school sometime. It'll be me taking you around the site, showing you all the various sixth form areas, rooms, and also speaking to the subjects and teachers that you're interested in, and just email me on that email address there. Alternatively, you can watch clips explaining what the subjects are about. There's 22 clips for each subject. They will appear on our website. We're currently videoing them now, so as soon as they're all up and ready, I will make sure that your teachers at your school know, so then you can access those clips. Well, that's it from me. I hope that this presentation has been informative. And as I say, any other questions that you want to ask me, you can always email me on the address on the screen now. Thank you very much for listening.